Rwanda now confirming that it is ready to take in the despicable human beings that the United States is removing from the country. That's what the Trump administration calls these undocumented migrants that have been sent to places like El Salvador and Panama.
I would say that's the spirit we are in, of giving chance to migrants who are in trouble across the world. So we are in talks with the USA. It's not finalized yet for us to say this is how it will turn out, but talks are taking place, and once they are concluded, we'll inform you. It is in its early stages.
Why would the U.S. send undocumented migrants to Rwanda thousands of kilometers away? It's a long way to go, but that is the point.
We are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are actively, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it.
It will not be the first time that Rwanda has done something like this. It's called migrant offshoring and has a lot of criticism in the human rights space. In the case of the UK deal, which we covered about 2 years ago, we went to Kigali and saw the facilities, the hostel where these migrants will be kept. Rwanda will be paid about $500,000 over 5 years and another £20,000 for every successful migrant that was sent to Rwanda.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another video. It's Ndagere here. So in this video, it turns out that in East Africa, with a country called Rwanda, they are accepting to bring in immigrants that the US is kicking out, which I'm like, why is that even happening? Because I mean, if they are Rwandese people, I'm like, okay, that's fair, that's fine. But like the fact that they want to bring in the people that, you know, the US is kicking out, like how are we sure that these people are going even to do better in like Africa? Are we a dumping place? And why is Rwanda accepting this in the first place? Guys, listen to what is going on with this situation. Come back, let me know your thoughts on it.
Rwanda is in talks with Marco Rubio of the United States of America to take migrants being deported from the United States of America. Now, given what's happening to the people who are deported out of America, they're being taken to prisons and supposedly torture camps. Now, Paul Kagame of Rwanda has put himself forward and he's in talks in a deal to accept migrants or people, anybody that is deported from the United States of America. This is not the first time Kagame has put himself for such a role. He is happy to do the WT deals for the West. So he is basically, if you remember, he was in talks with Suella Braverman in taking people who were deported from the United Kingdom, and now he's in talks with America because he's very happy to be taking people who are deported into his country. This man would do anything for money. Like, when are we Africans just gonna say enough? Like, you want to torture people on your own accord. You want to be cruel to people, be cruel to people on your own accord. But no, Paul Kagame, oh no. After basically what he has done in the Democratic Republic of Congo, it seems like this man is not happy until he is colluding with the West in order to pursue really racist and punitive measures to people of his own, you know? But let me tell you this, like Michael Langley, like others who have put themselves forward to work with organizations or institutions or countries that basically want to pursue racist agendas, and he puts himself at the forefront for this type of thing, they're just gonna leave you. They're just gonna drop you like a hot potato. You know how you were dropped by Britain with your, you know, the places that they were gonna send immigrants to? It's gonna happen to you again, mate.
Rwanda and Libya? Velveeta Voldemort and friends are actively discussing sending migrants and asylum seekers to Rwanda and Libya. These guys can't even come up with an original bad idea. They're basically copy and pasting the failed conservative UK government's Rwanda plan and trying to see if it'll stick here in the US. The Trump administration is discussing sending immigrants and asylum seekers to Rwanda and Libya, especially Libya for asylum seekers, as a safe third-party country, because they totally have a long-standing history of both stability and safety in both of those countries in my lifetime. Moving on, and This is actually confirmed. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has said, yeah, the United States is actively in discussions with other countries to take people basically that we don't want, immigrants that the United States deems undesirable, or anyone really they don't want. And depending on his mood, that could even be Jeff Bezos. If, he puts tariffs on Amazon, he could find Jeff Bezos in Rwanda. We don't know.
These accommodations in Rwanda's capital, Kigali, have stood empty for months, but the government hopes that won't last much longer. After reports last week suggested Rwanda was open to taking in US-deported migrants, the foreign minister confirmed Monday that talks with Washington have begun.
I can confirm that this is the case, but the discussions are preliminary, so I won't go into the details that will be discussed.
Talks over migrant deals are nothing new for Rwanda. In 2022, the government agreed to take in migrants deported by the UK. The plan was nearly finalized but collapsed when a new Labour government took office last year. Since then, Rwanda has looked further west to a president who has vowed to ramp up deportations of undocumented migrants. El Salvador, Panama, and Costa Rica have already accepted some of those deported from the US, but the Trump administration wants to go further.
We are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries.
What a deal with Rwanda might look like remains unclear. Media reports suggest the US wants to pay the country to accept migrants and fund a program to help them integrate into Rwandan society.
That's what we are dealing with. Like people were saying, this is not the first time Rwanda has, took up this initiative to take in immigrants. When it came to the UK, when they were kicking out immigrants, I shared videos about that, guys. So it's really questionable why we are always dumped on things and we accept them, because the way these people are calling, the way US is calling, these immigrants or these illegal immigrants despicable, it shows they do not see any sense in them, they are maybe criminals really, and they might be not safe, I would say. Why are we taking them in? What? We are the ones that take in despicable people. We are the ones that take in criminals. And this further proves that they do not see us as a place of progress. In case they want to dump anything that is negative onto anything, it's always going to come to African people. That's insane. That is crazy. And I don't know why Rwanda keeps doing this. I mean, they were given money by the UK last time when I shared the videos about, the migrants to be brought in Rwanda from the UK. And the government, I recall, allegedly was given money until that deal was cut off. And thinking actually, just because of money, they are willing to bring in people that are potentially not even going to be good people in the continent. And considering that, most of the people that look like this do not even see us as human beings, why would we accept them to be coming in? And how are we sure that these people are illegal and they're not, working with the governments of the US to come and destabilize us? Why should we even trust what the US is bringing on the table? But just for the sake of money, of course, Rwanda is going to take it in. And in the comments, people are really disappointed. For the sake of money, African leaders will always disappoint their people. They will always choose the other way around to please their masters, for themselves, and selfish acts for themselves, just to be seen as they are part of the world society. But, that, whole society of the world involving them never sees them as human beings, never sees them as worthy, and that's why they're always disrespected. And I mean, the more we keep on doing this just for the sake of money, how are we even going to run away from this colonialism? Because they know they can just come in and give money, and people are okay to betray their own. Why on earth would the US that came and destabilized Libya, that came and took down Gaddafi, now want to say that they want to bring in the illegals, that they do not want, the despicable beings that they do not want to bring them to Libya? Where's the safety in Libya? When has Libya ever had safety, ever, since the US came and invaded and took their leader away? When has safety ever been in that country? I think they're just planning a way to come in and just control and maybe send in spies as in the disguise of illegal immigrants, because there's no way this is going to be anywhere positive for the African people. And if it's just for the money, of course, African people will always do that. When it comes to money, yeah, the betrayal is always going to happen, and it's just disappointing. Like it's really sad. Rwanda needs to do better. Like it has a lot of like wrangles that it has with countries right now. A lot of people are seeing the shit that Rwanda has been having with Congo, and how they've been like sending soldiers to go and like destabilize Congo. So that is still there. And now they want to bring in and work with the US that has never had a good interest when it comes to African people. Make it make sense. How are we going to get free? Like guys, you look into these things all the time and you get shocked and you're pissed, but you can't do anything. This is why I tell people, like, whatever happens in the US involves African people in every sector. We can't just be there in peace. Like, we always have to be reminded on how they want to be in control of everything, and our people are letting that happen. Despicable people should be dumped in Africa. Like, we don't want these people. Let's just dump them in Africa. That's why they are so easy to, always put Africa on a bad name and, say all these nasty things about us, but they never want to leave. The place they say is nasty and is not worthy and is not developed, they are the same people that do not ever want to leave it. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, guys. That is it for me, the video. I just can't add on this. Whatever Rwanda is planning, if it's just for the money, I hope it's going to help the people of Rwanda. But it's just, we need to do better as Africans, especially with our leaders. They need to do better. They need to do better. Like, this is insane. This is insane. Guys, that is it for me in the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm always posting. Yeah, I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.